who is, of course, one of the major sponsors of this program, both in the past and today, will be joining us shortly. We are returning to a subject in which this committee played a leading role, and it's time to resume that role. It was members of this committee, our former chairman, Mr. Leach, whose picture is appropriately there to my left in the rear, the current ranking member, Mr. Backus, the gentleman from California, the chair of the Housing Subcommittee, and myself, who pushed for this to happen in the first place over the objection of many, including people in the Clinton administration. And it was, frankly, one of the rare times in recent years when both the Republican House leadership and the Clinton Treasury were overruled by a vote on the floor of the House. And the religious communities participated strongly, and the four of us worked on this. And we are back at it. Let me say, I think the moral case for debt relief is almost self-evident. No matter what you think about past practices, and in many cases past practices were wrong on the part of the borrowing countries, on the part of the lending institutions in countries, whatever you think, sadly today, overwhelmingly the victims are innocent people, residents of these countries, and our job is to alleviate their misery. There was a great deal of talk about how we go forward with economic development, and there are legitimate concerns about that. But there is no room for any intellectual doubt that getting rid of this overhang of debt is an essential precondition to any progress. And so this committee is resuming this. We take a good deal of heart from the fact that, well, let me put it this way. It is a common lie for people to say that they do not like to say, "I told you so." In my experience, everybody likes to say, "I told you so." And in fact, personally, I can say, people have heard me say this before, it is one of the few pleasures that improves with age. And those of us in the committee, and I'm joined by the gentleman from Alabama, who is one of the leading advocates of it, those of us who were in the lead on the debt relief previously can say, "We told you so." It has worked well. It has been very helpful. It has been one of the most, given the situation in Africa and some other places, it's hard to say it was a positive thing, but it did more to diminish the negatives that we confront than any other single thing I can think of. So we think it worked well enough for us to do it again. And we will be pushing the governments, the international financial institutions, to move forward with that. So I very much welcome this panel, and it is the beginning of a serious legislative effort, once again in a bipartisan way, and you will see this committee, I believe, pushing forward with this. And with that, I will recognize the gentleman from Alabama, the ranking member, who, as I said, was in the, when we did this the first time, one of the leading sponsors and advocates, and he continues to be in that category. Mr. Backus.